After the penalty, it's Crowell. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. 4 yards there on the carry, gets it back to 2nd and 11.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now Kessler on 2nd down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Kessler. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Adrian Claymore in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He'll take it at the 42. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive, as it'll begin in enemy territory already. And here now come the Falcons. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does, depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. They come out here in the I. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 2nd down following the run. Freeman again. And he'll push his way up to about the 14. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Coleman now. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, and the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Okay, let's talk rookies while we have a little breather here. Who's impressed you so far from those first-year guys?
Well, Corey Coleman out of Baylor, now with Cleveland. Everyone said he was explosive. He's been exactly that. How about Will Fuller? That young man does have a flair for the dramatic, doesn't he?
Did you see his catch?
Oh, that was
it up to himself.
Popped it right to himself. He knows what he's doing, and he's playing really well for the Texans. And then on the defensive side of the ball, Artie Burns in Pittsburgh, the corner's playing really well. And the guy, and Vernon Butler with Carolina. He's part of that rotation with KK Short and Star Lotulelei.
Play fake to Johnson. Now Kessler finding time. He's going to float this into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
After the interception, here's Ryan. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. And they're going to go soft on the corners. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. Final play of the half. It's Ryan going up top, and it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. they're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
So 2nd and 10 here. On 2nd down, Ryan. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it. And here we are today.
They come out here in the eye. Ryan. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Taken in at the 11. Now a hit and a loose football. And they're going to take over right there at the... ...22-yard line. And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And the cutback. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, 24 yards. And the